Hello. I'm going to take the dogs for a walk. Get down. And collect some dandelions. And some dandelion root, which I probably should get a utensil to. Dig the root out, which I probably have out in the greenhouse. Let me go do that. Should have pre-thought this. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm out in the greenhouse and I wanted to grab one of these because I was thinking of collecting some dandelion root and maybe some dandelion flower tops, making a tincture out of the dandelion root and possibly making a jam or something out of the flower. And so I'm gonna go on a hunt, plus I'm gonna take the dogs for a walk. Oh, I don't know if I can pause this with gloves on. We'll see. Nope. Okay, pause. All right, I'm throwing the ball for Bailey for a little bit. My chickens coming to say hello. I actually have daffodils that came up. We're going to walk over here where I have some dandelions, and I'm going to see about collecting some of these dandelions. Okay, so here's some dandelions. I'm going to see if I can probably gonna have a hard time doing this with the dogs bugging me to throw her the ball. But here we go. All right, so oh my goodness, of course I'd have to pick the hardest ground around to dig in. Oh, and of course I broke it, but it's a start. So what I'm going to do is dig up some dandelion and their roots, clean them, cut them into pieces, and dry them out. And then I'm going to put them in some vodka and make them into a tincture. I'm going to pause this and get back to you in a minute. I think I have enough root to make a small tincture. So I'm gonna head in because it's really starting to rain here. Let's see if I can show you. Sorry, I've got too much stuff in my hands. I guess you really can't tell, but it is My freak dog. She has a ball in her mouth and she wants this ball that's in the thrower. Anyway, it's starting to rain and I'm going to go in and clean these up and dry them off a little bit and get them steeping in some alcohol to make a tincture. Come! I'm also making some bread. It's almost done rising. I need to get the oven preheated so I can get that in. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these off with just my regular tap water and strain them out a little bit, and then I'm going to lay them on a towel over here. Put some napkins underneath to absorb some of the water if it gets too watery. And then I'm going to dry them off. And I've got a clean mason jar here. This is a quart mason jar. And I'm going to put my clean, dried, not dried, but damp dandelion roots in the jar. And these are the two alcohols that I normally use. I either use the Everclear, which that's a bit harsh when you're not feeling good or whatever and you're trying to take the Everclear. So I just use this one. I just go to the local liquor store and pick up an 80 proof or better vodka, and then you will pour it over to go about an inch over your herb and let it steep for a month in a cool, dark place. And then you will have your tincture. I will show you another tincture that I have made. Okay, so this one I just made the other day, and this one is barberry root. So I have the barberry in there. I do not grow barberry, so I got organic barberry root off of Amazon, and I used the Idaho Silver Vodka, and I filled it, and then every so often I just go give it a shake. Barberry is good for treating diarrhea, fever reducer, improves appetite, relieves upset stomach, and promotes vigor and well-being. And I usually write that on my jar, and of course I label it. Mullein tincture. I don't have any mullein in there right now because this is a finished tincture. See how dark it is? We get lots of mullein growing on the property, and when we had COVID, mullein helped get us through it. Mullein is good for upper respiratory illnesses and asthma, and just getting the mucus moving and out of your lungs. And mullein was a lifesaver when my husband and I had COVID back in 2021. So I highly recommend having mullein around. I know I do. I have mullein around all the time. And then once I make my jar of tincture, I put it in little vials, little amber glass vials that have droppers in them, and then they're easier to use that way. And I keep them in my fridge. So let me go grab one. So after I make the mullein, then I just bottle it up and I keep it in the fridge. And then when I need to go use it, I just use my dropper, and I usually do it 3 times a day. I'll either put it in a little tea or juice, and just I like to just get it over with and put it in a little shot glass with some juice or tea or water. and just chug it. Once 3 times a day, my oven's ready for my bread. So yeah, that's how I make my tinctures. I just clean the herb, gather it first, clean it, stuff it in my jar, pour alcohol in it, put a lid on it, label it, and what its uses are for. I don't have this jar labeled because I know what mullein is for, and my family knows what mullein is for. We've been using it for a few years. So, but my original jar, like we haven't used barberry root, my original jar, until I get it in my head and the family knows it, I always label it. And if you have a little brush, use a little brush. To clean it off. So this is before. This is after. Lay it out on my towel, and then when I have them all laid out, another towel is going to go on top to dry them off. Okay, I have got my dandelion all cut up and in the jar. I've got my jar labeled for all of its uses. So dandelion, when eaten raw, like in salads or whatever, it can help lower cholesterol. I don't know if it does that in a tincture, which I'm assuming it would, since eating it raw would do that. It's been known to lower blood pressure. It's been known to treat UTI infections, water retention, stomach problems. It promotes clear skin. It helps build energy and endurance, which can be helpful after a long winter. It's been known as an antibiotic to help cleanse the liver and the kidneys. I do have first stages of kidney disease, and so anything that can help me, I'm going to use. All right, so we are going to, of course, this doesn't help, but hopefully the extraction will help. Hopefully I can benefit from the medicinal properties of this plant. Okay, so then you just take your vodka and you fill it to cover the plant material. This is going to take a minute. There's a lot in there. I didn't realize I had so much. So then it's almost full, and now it is full. I'm just going to stop it there. Used a lot. That was a brand new bottle. And I just take my chopstick and kind of move things around. You don't have to do this because once you get the lid on, you're going to give it a shake anyway, but just a little extra step I'm taking. Put the lid on. I like the plastic lids. The other lids, I do have some with metal lids, but they tend to, it seems like they rust a little bit. So then you just give it a good shake, and then you put it in a cool, dark place for 4 to 6 weeks. And give it a shake every once in a while. If you have the the weights. You can put a weight on it if you want. I don't normally use the weights. Oh, let's see if I have one readily available. I did get some, oh, I think these are for wide mouth. Yeah, this isn't going to fit in there because it's for a wide mouth, but, or you can just get a little baggie with water in it, which I should probably do because it's poking up, but, just make sure that your material's down under the vodka. Or you can get a little baggie. And put some water in it. Haven't done this in a while, so let's see how this works. Push it down in there. I'm not too worried about it though because I'm going to be checking on it often. Oh, it's making my vodka go everywhere. Never mind. That stuff is precious. I don't want to waste it. Anyway, so that's down in there. I think it'll be fine. Ah, now I did just mess up my label. Okay, so I'm going to go put this in my cabinet that I keep them in, and voila, we are done until it's time to use it. Have a good day. Happy foraging.